Hi, and thanks so much for joining me for my current game changers. If you'd like to see that, please keep watching. First of all, a very happy Thanksgiving to those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving. I think it's a time to think about what we are grateful for, and I'm so grateful for you and all of your support. You always leave such kind comments, and I really do appreciate each and every comment, as well as a thumbs up of you and when you subscribe. So I know many of you have been here for several years at this point. This is year 5 for me here on YouTube. So thank you again so very much for all of the support. And I will be vlogging what I'm doing on Thanksgiving. So look for that probably in the next week or so. I'm of course filming this ahead of time. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. Tune into Instagram. I'll probably be posting some stories on there in case you'd like to see what I'm up to. Also, I did get my haircut. So I had it chopped off quite a bit, but I'm very happy with it. I'm still getting used to the length and really how best to style. So I might be fiddling with it a little bit too much in this video, so I apologize ahead of time for kind of messing with it, because it is something I'm trying to figure out how best to style, but so far really pleased with it. But let's jump into game changers. So these are things that probably are not all going to be new products. They are things I use all the time. So some I think you can already predict what I'm going to use, but I've also found some new ones, and I'll explain to you the reason why they are game changers for me when I talk about each one, starting with foundation products. This is not a new game changer, but I just am consistently impressed with this. This is for a no makeup kind of finish. If you've never used this before, if you do know what this is, you probably have the same experience with it. It is the Le Beige Water Fresh Tint. It works well on skin like mine, as well as my mom, who is almost 80. We use this on her skin. It just had the most beautiful glow. So if you have more texture to your skin, and her skin's a little bit dry as well, it just looks so beautiful. Because these are encapsulated bits of powder and they're suspended in this liquid, and so when those little particles get dispersed, that's what ends up on your face. So I think that's one of the reasons it doesn't require powder as much as some other products. So this is something that I love, and you know that I also love fixing my makeup with it. So it emulsifies things, puts things back into place, refreshes really nicely, even including under the eye. So I do have 3 shades. I've got medium, medium plus, and also deep. But I also go in with a different kind of order of application in the Get Ready With Me, which will be coming up soon, where I start with the eyes first, and then that kind of informs the rest of the face. And I learned that in a class that I took recently through Chanel. So I learned some tips and tricks, as well as some big ideas from a celebrity makeup artist who I will talk more about in the Get Ready With Me, and I will share all those tips and tricks that I learned as well. The next game changer is not a new thing either. It's the Chantecaille Future Skin Cushion. It just continues to be the thinnest, most high coverage foundation that looks natural on the face. Lasts for a very long time, is transfer resistant, and just looks so beautiful on the skin. So actually I sold my sister on this the last time I saw her. She actually purchased both of these, the Water Fresh Tint as well as this, after she tried both of them. And she lives in a humid climate. She is in Hong Kong, and she's now a stylist. So she loves this as well. So if you're in a humid climate, this is a great one, and you want more coverage. Looks beautiful on the skin, very skin enhancing. So I have actually several shades. I will swatch them for you here, but I have Nude on in the center of my face today, and I used it as a concealer. But again, I do go in with like a very interesting order when I do the Get Ready With Me. So again, make sure to tune into that. Oh, I forgot to mention, I always start with this Anti-Pollution Mattifying Cream by Chantecaille, because it just smooths out the texture of my skin first and allows the makeup to just really enhance the skin instead of settling into pores. I have some enlarged pores in the front, so that really helps smooth out the texture before I go in with my makeup. And then I don't have to worry as much about that in the front. My concealers remain the same, because under the eye especially, I don't want to have to powder, because powder can, no matter how nice the powder is, can add to texture or make it look heavier than it is and look makeup-y, I want to say. So if I can not powder, that's amazing. And these concealers under the eye do not require powder. They set by themselves. Many of you have tried this, and also let me know it works for you. This is the SISLEY Under Eye Concealer in the shade 4, and I'm still gonna pair it with the La Prairie. It's very excessive, but the La Prairie concealer just to brighten in this very targeted area. It just has the most beautiful finish about it that I cannot find replicated in another concealer yet. I'm not saying there isn't one, but the ones I've tried so far still don't deliver the same amount of brightening without being too bright. Not necessary, but I noticed a difference. So I love that one. And then I'm gonna hold up all the ones I have because that's how much I love this product. These are the Clé de Peau concealers. I think they're so amazing. I will wear them without foundation. In fact, in the Get Ready With Me, I'll show you what this looks like without foundation first. But for hyperpigmentation, this is probably the best concealer I found that really gives substantial coverage while still making the skin look nice and pretty without looking heavy. And that's the trick there. And without changing color throughout the day and without making my dark spots look green. Because even though some concealers are amazing in their texture, they might make the color look a little bit off. These stay true to the color that they are from application to the end of the day when you remove it. So cannot say enough about the Clé de Peau concealer. Works really well on texture as well, because I've got like the perfect storm here. I've got texture and darkness right in the center. Not as bad anymore, but definitely, yes, in the front is a very tricky spot to have that. Oh, I also forgot to mention, I did want to throw these in because these are game-changing in that this is the fastest application that looks really nice, both for under the eye as a concealer, as well as a foundation. It's the Merit Beauty. So this is the Complexion stick. I think it's the perfect size for application under the eye, as well as really quick application. And then the brush, you just sweep this out. I've not found a product that is faster than this that looks really natural and pretty on the skin. So I did want to mention this is a lovely combo, especially for my friends out here who are minimalists with your makeup and you want something lightweight. This is really pretty. So Merit Beauty. So I want to go to the eyes because I picked some eye products that you might be surprised about. Or maybe you won't be, but I think after I use them, these are game changers because they provide a different texture and almost a different purpose for what I typically use eyeshadows for. So the first one is this BYREDO palette. It is the Fêtes Noires, the one with all of these deep shades. And I was really thinking about this, like what is different about all the palettes that I have? And they're mostly really, really beautiful, high-performing products. So in order for them to stand out, they have to be a little bit different. So what's different about this one is that this shade right here, and actually there's another shade that's really creamy, this one right here. There are two that are creamy. These are more powdery, and then that, I don't use that because that's glittery. But this one, to use as a base, so this is not a new concept, but I did learn in a Pat McGrath class that she had, using eyeliner to lay out the shape first and then apply powder products on top of it. So I used that concept or that idea to use with other eyeshadows. So I paired this with a Road Movie palette by Chanel. That's not a game changer, but I wanted to use that because I think it's such a fun palette. This one right here, because of the teal. Chose this color in there and you'll see how I apply it. I actually applied it with a one and done as well. I used this Dior, and you'll see in the Get Ready With Me, the Dior Poncho as a one and done on top of this black shadow, which doesn't sound like it goes together, but I used this to kind of build intensity and define it. And then I went on with the one and done, put mascara on, etc. So for a one and done look, a monochromatic look, but then I went in with that Chanel product and made it into this kind of an eye. And I just love that you can use this with multiple other palettes. So using this to just carve out the shape, define the eyes, go on top with other colors. I think it's a really pretty base. It's kind of between like a cream, like a shadow stick, that kind of consistency, and a powder. So if you touch this, it has like, it doesn't feel like a powdery eyeshadow. It feels very creamy. So that's why I love that one so much. And then I also chose this one specifically for this shade right here as a topper because I added that onto the teal and it doesn't come across like, oh gosh, it doesn't come across like this on top of the teal. It kind of just enhanced it as a topper should. And it picked up some really lovely shades in there. So for this, I chose this because of this being a topper, and it's such an unusual shade. This is one of the creamy shades in here where you just use your fingertips to apply, so you don't get that fallout or anything like that. Sometimes with these really beautiful shades, they are a bit powdery and a little bit harder to work with, but this one is that creamy texture that just adheres really nicely, which is why I use my fingertips to apply this right on top. So this is the Metal Boots in the Snow palette. So that's why I chose those two. They're just so unique amongst any of the eyeshadows that I have. Okay, make sure I didn't draw on my face with that. Next for powder, I went in with this. I'm loving this powder, the RODIAL glass powder, and I hesitated including this because it is so difficult to get a hold of. I think there's only one store where it's available, if it's still available in the US, but I will keep my eye out for this, post on the community tab whenever it comes back into stock. But it's the most lovely loose powder that just puts a veil of powder on, nothing too heavy, doesn't impact my concealer. It just looks so pretty on the skin. So I like to use a, like actually this brush with it, which is a game changer, my MER Powder Brush. Lovely powder to set with. So I love this because you can see the bristles are nice and soft and they're not so tightly packed together. It does have some movement to it, so I like to pick up loose powders with this, like the RODIAL glass powder. I like to use this with the meteorites. It's beautiful with that. I also like to dust bronzer on really lightly with this as well, which is what I did with the Guerlain bronzer that I used today in this. Also, I can't not mention the SHISEIDO. It is a game changer. I have two of them. That's how much I love this. Yes, I'm not going to talk about this too much because you know, if you've been here before, I love this. It just makes your foundation even better. Seamless. There's no work to be done with your foundation once you apply this. It really does look airbrushed when you apply this, and can't say enough about this brush. Oh yes, and of course I did set with, I have a brand new one here that I haven't used, but it's pretty, so I'm going to show you this one. It's the Chantecaille Perfect Blur Powder. It blurs both texture physically as well as discoloration, so it just evens out skin tone for me as well, and then makes that skin look even smoother. So that is the reason why I love this so much. I have mine in medium light. I also have the other shade, the deeper shade, which is great for my forehead in the summer, but medium light is a really perfect shade for me just because you can see it's got that peachy tone, which I'm always talking about. It really just brightens up the complexion. Blush, you know, I love blush. There's a couple of them here that are standouts that are kind of new. I love this one. This is the Victoria Beckham Beauty Cheeky Blush Stick, and this one is in the shade Major. Now, all of the shades are beautiful, but I love this because it is just a skin enhancing kind of blush. It looks like it's part of your skin rather than makeup on top of your skin. So I noticed that it just makes your skin look better. It makes it look alive, and it has staying power. They might be my favorite new cream blush, which says a lot because I adore blushes and I have quite a few that can compete with it, but that one is standing up above the rest. Moving on to powder blushes. This is another product that makes the skin look even more beautiful. You know how I love powders that improve the appearance of the skin? These do that. So these are the Clé de Peau blushes, the blush duos. I have this one on now. I've been wearing this one on repeat. It's 105. Just the most beautiful glow, nothing shimmery, nothing sparkly. You know, I don't like those kinds of things in my blush. And then we've got 102. I didn't use this today, but in case you like a cooler tone, a little bit more vibrance, this one's really beautiful as well. But I have this layered, this one, layered over the Victoria Beckham blush right now. Ooh, I forgot with eyes. So this is fairly new, but I've been wearing it with these smokier looks and it just elevates it and I think pulls everything together. Without this product, I don't think these smoky eyes would come together as well. It's a Chantecaille new eyeliner that they have in black. It's the deepest shade, so against brown eyes, it really helps my brown eyes come through as brown and actually with a color to them. Because sometimes I feel like you can't see the color in my eye because they're so dark, but against this shade, you can see that they're brown, especially when I do have something green like this or something that's brown enhancing. This does even more for the color of my eyes. It is the softest liner going on and I just love it. And it really helps with the brown shades as well. It might not seem like it works with brown, but it does. So I think any shade would work with this, but I've been loving lining my eyes all the way around. So in the waterline and tight lining, I think it's the prettiest eyeliner. Came around to the right time when I'm really kind of playing around more with eyeshadows. Game changer, again, I think I've included this in a game changer before. Chantecaille mascara, it just does the most beautiful job. Never flakes, never smudges. I can wear this for an evening event. I don't ever have any issues with this. Really grabs those wispy lashes on the bottom. So if you have wispier lashes, this is a great one. It doesn't weigh them down, but it builds volume and it builds length as well without ever clumping them together. This is a faux seal longest lash version. Brows. I'm gonna say this Gucci pencil continues to be a game changer. Just is so easy to apply this. This is what I'm gonna travel with. Look how small that is. I have now 3 floating around here somewhere, but I'm gonna travel with this one. Just easy to apply, love the finish. I love how it doesn't reflect the light. It just is a beautiful shade, color, everything. We've got some brushes. The Chantecaille Buff and Blur brush. I have 2 of these. I use it with lots of other products, but mainly the blur powder. Love it. I'm gonna say this 6.5 Ray Morris again. They always picture it like this though on their site, and you can't really see the shape. This is the shape and why it works so nicely as a blending brush here. So I need to clean it now because I used it today. The Sonia G Pencil 1. Pencil 1. I love this one. It does so much, especially with those creamier products like that black that I used from the BYREDO palette. Really great in the inner corner. I probably should get 1 or 2 more of these, but if you like to do a little bit more precise work, this is really nice. Love this Clay to Peau brush that I recently picked up. It really has changed the game for me in that I can use cream blush products and also more liquidy type blush products without lifting up my makeup, because that was a trick when you go either in directly with the product or even just putting on my hand and then tapping this in, it tended to lift things. So this brush helps not lift. So if you've had that issue where you have foundation or concealer or anything really anywhere in this area, for me it's up in front, this helps keep things in place and puts the blush in place as well. So you can use this with cream, liquid, or powder products. I don't use it with powder products because my other blush brush does just fine, but specifically cream and liquid products for blush. Clay to Peau blush brush, I love this. Because before, I just didn't have as much luck with cream or liquid products up here in front. Oh, I forgot to mention, almost forgot to mention this one shade by Chantecaille in Java. This one is the perfect crease color with anything. Warm, cool, anything. I added it here to just blend a little bit more. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it, so it reflects the light, but it's nothing shimmery or sparkly, but it just does such a nice job of blending and integrating color in this area. So I love that one. I love it by itself as well with just a little mascara and then like a lighter shade underneath. I think it's a really pretty one. That's definitely a solution for me. And these are still game changers for me, the Chanel Le Rouge Duos. I haven't used them in a while because I've been testing out so many other lip products, but in real life, I do use these because they stay in place. I used, oh gosh, now I can't remember, because I was trying to pick between these 2. I think I used Intense Caramel today. I swatched these next to each other if you want to know the difference, but I used that today because they stay in place, they wear really well. I don't like liquid lipsticks, but this is the only liquid lipstick I like. All the shades are beautiful, so I've got that one on today. I feel like that's another theme with the game-changing items, is that they serve as solutions for when I'm not sure of something, or they go with everything. So not only do they change the game in terms of application or results, but they also change the game in terms of eliminating or focusing choices when I'm not sure. And this is one of those things. It's the Baccarat Rouge 540. So I love all of my fragrances, but typically I pick them for specific reasons or specific looks. And I feel like this one is universal. It really is a fragrance I can wear with anything, casual, dressed up, evening, daytime, anything. It's just a really versatile, very beautiful fragrance. Remember, if you would like to see how I got ready with this look and learn some of those tips and tricks and big picture ideas that I learned from my class, I will definitely be sharing those with you in the Get Ready With Me that I'll be posting very soon. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.